We are live. Good morning, everybody. Mike Nelson here with you on the Monday morning Dodger Digest live stream. We do this every Monday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, talking about the Dodgers. Of course, it was an interesting weekend for the Dodgers. Happy Easter, everybody. Of course, we just had Easter yesterday, and the Dodgers had a big series win, right? Winning 2 out of 3 out there in Arlington, which is obviously a good thing for sure. And really excited to see the team, be dominant yesterday in terms of the pitching, right? The pitching was absolutely dominant out there on the road. Tyler Glasnow sure left the game after 4 innings, but like I've been talking about leading up to this, the last few weeks, I mean, the bullpen for the Dodgers once again steps up. They have to pitch the last 5 innings. And they did a great job, right? I think that was the big story yesterday on the road. The bullpen really stepping up and having a great start, and really kind of just solidifying the idea that they're still going to be one of the top bullpens in Major League Baseball, and going to be really tough to beat the Dodgers if that continues. Offensively, the team is kind of struggling. As you know, congratulations to Shohei Ohtani and his wife Mimiko, who had their first baby daughter over the weekend. Of course, he missed Friday and Saturday to go back to California to be with his wife, and then ended up playing yesterday, which is pretty crazy. How he actually played on Sunday. I think he went 0 for 3, but imagine having to fly back and forth, and just shows you what kind of player Otani is. Like, he's a really, most guys would just take the whole weekend off, right? You wouldn't have seen Otani yesterday, but he decided to play. He came over and, had a walk. But, yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see how the team moves forward in terms of the offense. So what does everybody think? Let's go to the comments here. Collie says, let's go. Bearded says, what's up, Dodger fan? What's up, everybody? It's Monday morning. It's always, Bearded says, cheers to show and his wife. That's right. Yeah, definitely, we're, happy for Shohei Ohtani. We know it's something super important to have your first child, and I think it was, totally fine that he missed 2 games. Like I said, I was surprised he even played yesterday. I was thinking he's going to take, Sunday off, too, but ended up, coming out and starting the game. Played the whole game as DH yesterday out in Dallas. The team, of course, is off today, and they're flying to Chicago. I believe they might have left yesterday. I'm not sure, but they're going to be playing in Chicago on Tuesday and Wednesday. Just 2 games against a team that beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 at Dodger Stadium. So it's going to be definitely a challenge against the first place Chicago Cubs. Who would have thought that? They're first place in the National League Central. But as people are hopping on the stream, what is everybody thinking about with how the Dodgers are doing? Bearded says, I don't usually get to catch Monday stream. Glad I can make it today. Yeah, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, every Monday we're doing this now. I know early on in the offseason we were doing Fridays, but right now we're going to be doing Mondays. Brad couldn't make it today, but he'll be back next week. Usually it's myself and Brad kind of talking Dodgers and debating. It's pretty fun, right? But today it's just going to be me. We're talking all about the series win this past week. It was the first series win for the Dodgers on the road this season, right? Because they lost to the Nationals and the Phillies on the road. Those were the first 2 series on the road that they actually, think about it, they went, what was it, 2 and 4 on that road trip? Pretty crazy, right? Lost 2 out of 3 in Philly and lost 2 out of 3 in Washington. Only won 2 games in that road trip, 2 and 4. So it was going to be a question how they were going to do on the road this weekend against the Rangers, once again on the road, and they ended up getting 2 out of 3, winning 2 out of 3. Yeah, Saturday was, of course, a rough loss with Kirby Yates blowing that game. Unfortunately, that was, of course, a tough way to go on Saturday. A 2-run shot. But the team kind of regrouped and had a good win on Sunday, but in terms of the pitching, right? But offensively, the team was, shut down definitely quite a bit, right? It was not the same. The offense was not clicking yesterday in Texas. What do we got? We got James saying, I'm glad that they won, and Will Smith, he put on the base pad the game before, but the throw out was at second was killer. Bill Smith definitely been one of the best catchers for the Dodgers in recent years. He's been one of the top guys I think that the Dodgers have had. Really great that he's still on the Dodgers, and we're going to have him for a long time, right? A 10-year contract. So this guy isn't going anywhere, but I think it's great that the Dodgers still have him. Beard says, really hope Glasnow is truly okay. Was concerning watching him trying to shake out his leg and even look like flex his throwing habit, but finally was definitely safe. Yeah, well, I guess the word from Dave Roberts was that it was, of course, cramping on the leg again. It was interesting because Dave Roberts talked about this yesterday in his post-game press conference, talking about how last year, Glasnow had this issue in Toronto, right? He had this cramping issue in Toronto, and then, of course, didn't have it at all for the rest of the year. So that's what Dave Roberts was saying. This is not the first time he's dealt with this leg cramping in the middle of a game. It was last year, because almost a year ago, he said around the same time this year, April, May of 24, Glasnow had to exit the game. It's been such a long time, I forgot about that game. But Glasnow exited the game early last year as well for leg cramps. And then, of course, now it's happened again. So Dave Roberts said that he hopes that this is the only time it's going to happen all year long, that he's not concerned with the cramping. Glasnow is supposed to be starting his next game as scheduled. So that's good news that Glasnow is not having any arm issues, because we know last year this guy missed the rest of the year and had to get surgery. So I think that's where the main concern has to be. I think cramping can happen for various reasons, right? Dehydration, mostly, being on the plane for a while, and then having to play a game and not really fully hydrating before that start on Sunday could have caused that cramping on that game on Sunday. So I think we shouldn't be too concerned yet with Tyler Glasnow. We got Eric saying Evan Phillips' strikeout was a play of the game. Yep, I would say it was a big play for sure. Lemon saying something is off about Yates. Don't trust him. Yeah, I think definitely something is definitely off about Kirby Yates and Tanner Scott. I mean, Tanner Scott, they wrote an article, what was it, I think this morning on the New York Times, talking about Tanner Scott, how he's like dealing with tweaks or whatever. He's tweaking his game. I mean, come on. Tanner Scott signed a $70 million contract in the offseason, and for him to be tweaking his game, it's kind of stupid, right? I mean, this guy should have been ready to go when the season started, and I don't know. Tanner Scott, even his fastball is like he was throwing 98 miles an hour last year, and it's like 97 right now, so it's like you got to be concerned about Tanner Scott too. Tanner Scott has not been the same, and Kirby Yates, has had a good, solid career, but he's getting up there. I mean, maybe Kirby Yates is on the way out in terms of his career. I mean, they only got him for 1 year, if I'm not mistaken, right? It's a 1-year deal for Kirby Yates. And, it's like, maybe he's at the end, and this is going to be it for him. And, maybe this is where we're going to get the rest of the year from Kirby. So you can't be too surprised a player getting up there in age, kind of finally showing what he's going to be. This could be how he's going to play all year. So I think we have to just kind of be patient with him, but I think the age is definitely a factor with Kirby Yates. What does everybody think, though? I think the Dodgers bullpen, stepped up yesterday, had a good, solid, performance, right? They had to. They would have lost this game with Tyler Glasnow going down. And there's been starts like that. The bullpen starts. There's been early exits by starting pitchers, right? Bobby Miller. A lot of guys have been, the starting pitching sometimes has been a bit concerning, but the bullpen has stepped up, right? Yesterday, Garcia, Banda, Casparis, Dreyer, Phillips, Tanner Scott, of course, came in and closed the game. But, everybody kind of contributed yesterday, but it's still a question who's going to be that closer, Scott or Yates. Yates is not really traditionally a closer, but I think after Saturday, the Dodgers are going to think twice about using him as a closer for sure. Lemon says, or actually James is saying, Tyler needs to drink more liquid passion fruit. IV passion fruit helps me out. Yeah, I would say, Tyler definitely needs to try to hydrate a little bit better. He has to definitely hydrate, I think, more when he goes on the road, right? I think going on the road, for me, like I've had that, when you travel, when you go like cross country or when you're like on a road trip for sure too. Well, these guys are not driving to their games, right? They're flying, but even flying takes, I think it definitely dehydrates you, right? Because you're in the plane, you're like, waiting and you're sitting there for a while. So I think that causes dehydration. So I think, yeah, he's definitely going to have to hydrate better on the road because we can't have, Glasnow having these sort of problems like in like the playoffs, right? That would be like catastrophic. Glasnow didn't get a chance to play in the playoffs last year, right? Didn't pitch at all. He was gone by the time the playoffs started. So hopefully this guy does play in the playoffs. He is playing. I really hope that because if he's not playing the playoffs, we got ourselves another problem again and having to go to bullpen games. But we got a lot of comments this morning. Thanks a lot. If you're hopping on the stream for the first time, we appreciate everybody who hops on. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We were doing this every Monday, and then, of course, we are doing a bunch of other stuff every day here on the channel. So please like the video and make sure to subscribe. But we got let's go through all the comments here. We always like comments. We're going to be doing phone calls pretty soon also. So we're going to be setting up that. Having some live phone calls here on the channel. So you get to talk to me and Brad when we do these shows. So we're going to get that set up soon. But we got Lemon saying Yates feels like he don't trust himself. Hope he gets better as time goes on, but needs to get his yeah, I think Yates looks a little bit shaky at times. Maybe, I don't know. Hopefully he's 100%. I always think that sometimes these guys are not at 100%. And that's why they're not playing their best. But, yeah, confidence is obviously going to be important. I think it's still very early in the year for Kirby Yates. It's still a long season. He's got a long way to go. A lot of time to adjust and work on all that. So I think there's still room for improvement for sure with Kirby Yates. But Yates has a lot of experience. He's pitched for a lot of different teams. And I think that's why the Dodgers were, sold on the idea of bringing him on. So, I think that was basically the resume speaks for itself. I think Kirby Yates had a good enough resume to come to the Dodgers, right? Because to come to the Dodgers, you got to have something, right? I mean, the Dodgers won the World Series. They're not going to be signing guys that are like, going through like, giving people second chances or like, players that are like trying to get a chance in the league, in the major leagues. The Dodgers are not about that at all because this team has they won the World Series. I mean, think of all the players the Dodgers have right now. Literally everybody. I mean, I don't know if anybody can disagree with me. I think everybody on this team, maybe outside of Andy Pajes, who's like a young player, basically everybody has like something on their resume that is like, wow, like you're good. Everybody does. So everybody on this team is good, basically. So I think the Dodgers, they signed Kirby Yates for a reason. I think they were sold on the idea of bringing him on, and I think it's a good signing. I think we have to just give him some time. I know Saturday was rough. Him blowing the game like that, losing the game like that. So it's like Tanner Scott. Scott and Yates both have not been. Scott does get the save yesterday, but I mean, Scott hasn't been himself either, right? So I think Scott and Yates both are going to have to they have to step up as the season goes along. They have to pitch better. They're going to have to, get better as the months go along because, yeah, what they're doing right now I think is not good enough for the Dodgers to win a World Series. I think the way both of them are pitching, they're going to run into issues, both of them, when the playoffs come, facing against, better opponents. So I think they're both going to have to pitch better as time goes along. Beard says not familiar enough with Yates. Yeah, well, Yates, of course, came over from Texas. Also pitched for Atlanta, pitched for San Diego, too. This guy's been around. He did break into the major leagues a little older. I believe he was like 23, 24 when he finally got his shot, maybe a bit older than that. He took him a while to kind of break into the Major League Baseball, right? So he worked really hard to kind of get a shot for sure. And now, of course, he's an established relief pitcher in Major League Baseball. James says, where'd you get that hat? It's killer. Thanks a lot, James. Appreciate it. Yeah, actually, this hat was a gift. It's actually it's a 50th anniversary hat. You can see the side. It's got the little patch right here. But, yeah, it was a gift. But, yeah, it's a pretty cool hat. I don't know if they still have it anymore. But, yeah, thanks. Appreciate it. We got Lemon saying maybe Yates and Scotts are overwhelmed playing for the Dodgers. Yeah, I mean, it could be over. It's definitely, I think, overwhelming. I think playing sometimes, these guys have a lot of pressure, coming to play for like the Dodgers, and it's like a bit too much. Yeah, that could be definitely an issue. We've seen that with guys going to the Yankees and stuff like that. But yeah, and then James said, hate to fly. I actually really like flying. I think flying is like the best. Although there's been too many accidents as of late. I mean, what's going on with that, right? Way too many plane accidents in the United States, especially for those of us that are in the States. It's like been crazy with all the plane accidents. So yeah, the next time I'm flying, which is going to be like next month, like hopefully there's like nothing going on. But yeah, flying's pretty fun though. But Bearded says you guys are awesome. Thanks a lot, Bearded. Going to be taking calls next. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, we're putting together a pretty cool channel here. Always, talking Dodgers, and every day we're like putting out videos. Like you saw, me and Brad were always putting videos out in the morning, or like doing the post game, or doing watch-alongs. We're gonna do the next watch-along on Wednesday at Wrigley Field. Gonna be like game 2 of that series, so we're gonna have a watch-along here on the channel for that. Yeah, I believe it will be the last watch-along for a bit. Last one of this month. So make sure to tune in on Wednesday. It's a little early. It's going to be like 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday for that game 2, the final game, right? It's only a 2-game set out at Wrigley Field. It's going to be a short series this week. So it's just a couple games. But we got some more. Connor saying, if you're in the chat and not subscribed to Best Dog, yeah, exactly. Like, if you're in the chat, thanks a lot, Connor. Like, if you're in the chat right now, or even if you're not in the chat, I know some people are a bit shy, and they like to just tune in and listen, which is also cool as well, if you don't want to, like, participate and talk. But, yeah, if you're watching this, you're not subscribed, I'm not sure why, you're gonna miss like when we put out the videos, like, because like that's kind of like when you're subscribed, you get like, if you put the notifications on, like you'll know exactly when we go live, or exactly when we put those videos out, right? Which are always like coming out at random times. Like you never know when they can come out during the off season. Like we were going crazy here on the channel during the off season. For those of you that were following us, I mean, some days we were putting like 3 or 4 videos out with all the news that was happening. The off season is always like a really busy time, I think, because there's always so many rumors and like a lot of stuff going on. So those were definitely really fun times for sure. But right now we still got a lot. The Dodgers are playing. It's different kind of news, I think. During the season, it's a different kind of way of covering the Dodgers, I think, in comparison to when the off season's going on. But we still got it all. Beard says, Connor said it right. Yeah, thanks a lot, Connor. James saying Angels beat the Giants. Awesome. Yeah, I think the Angels really helped us out yesterday. What was it? The Giants had a 4-1 lead going into the 9th inning. 4-1 lead. Pretty crazy, right? And the Angels scored 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning to win the game. So a 5-4 win for the guys down south. That helps the Dodgers, right? It really helps the Dodgers out in their pursuit of the division. They need San Diego and the Giants to keep losing. Although at this point they're not. they're both playing pretty well. Thanks a lot, Connor. We really appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the what teams got to do for sure. I think we need teams to start beating the Giants and the Padres. Kind of crazy we're not playing either of those. Like we talked about with Brad, I think it's a little weird that we're not playing the Giants or San Diego until June, which kind of sucks if you ask me, because I would have liked to have a series, um, soon. Like I would have liked to have seen it like late May, and I would have liked it a little bit, sooner, not till June. So that's a bit that's a bit of a downer, right? Seeing like that series until then, but I guess that's the way it goes. And by then, I'm gonna be really interested to see like who is still in the race. Like out of the two, like that's a good question for everybody. Like you see, like San Diego and the Giants, like both up behind the Dodgers right now, right? So like, who do you really think is gonna be still there in June when the Dodgers play them, right? Because obviously the Dodgers, I mean, I'm not trying to sound biased here, but they're obviously going to be competing for the division come June. I mean, there's no way that's not going to be the case, right? I mean, they are going to be in the hunt. They're going to be clear, they're going to be probably in first or second place, right? If barring injury, barring a catastrophic losing streak, which I don't foresee happening from the Dodgers, they're going to be in first or second place come June. So who do you think is going to be that other team fighting the Dodgers come that time of year? And I really think it's going to be San Diego, right? I don't think the Giants are going to hold on, and they're just not. I just don't see it. I don't think the Giants have enough. I mean, they're scoring a lot of runs right now, the Giants, and I just don't think they're going to be doing that for the next 2 months, and they're going to start to fade out. The Dodgers, think of their schedule. I mean, they got the Cubs a couple times this week, and then they got themselves like the Pirates, the Marlins, the Braves, who've been pretty bad. So, like, all those games are going to be like wins, hopefully, for the Dodgers. It's 3 against the Pirates at home, 3 against the Marlins at home, and then it's 3 against Atlanta on the road. But I like the Dodgers' chances in those 9 games to go 7-2, 8-1. Because those 3 teams have not been very good to start off the year, the 3 of them. And luckily the Dodgers will be playing them next. So after this Chicago series, it's going to be a bit of hopefully some wins they can stack up. Some easy wins that don't take too much strain on the bullpen. Because they were talking about that yesterday on the post game. I think it was a good comment. They were talking about this on AM 570 with the fans on the radio. Talking about where the Dodgers going to get, they're putting a lot of strain right now on the bullpen because of course, the Blake Snell injury, and then because, frankly, the guys they've called up have done, next to nothing, right? Like, Bobby Miller, Justin Robleski, these guys were not very good, so they had to go to the bullpen right away. So, they're taking a lot of innings out of this bullpen. Like, later in the year, if this continues, they can't keep up this pace, right? The Dodgers cannot keep up the pace that they're currently on with the bullpen usage. So I think that's something that is a little concerning as well, because last year they kind of got away with it. The playoffs, they used the bullpen like crazy, as we know, and they won the World Series. But I don't think that can happen 2 years in a row. I just don't. I think this year the Dodgers are going to have to go with the starting pitching come October, like any other year, like any other team in the history of baseball. They're going to have a dominant rotation if they want to win a World Series again. They're going to have to. They're going to have like, Glasnow, Snell, and like the guy that's on the title of this video, Yamamoto, has been absolutely insane to kick off the 2025 season, right? Look what he did on Friday night against the Rangers, a shutout. He's had a few of those shutouts this year. He's been completely like at another level this year to kick off the season. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, right? He has been incredible to kick off the year. And Yamamoto's going to have to keep up that pace. He's going to have to be the ace for the Dodgers in the playoffs. And like I said, we need Yamamoto. We need like a Blake Snell. We need a Tyler. Like those 3 guys, like at least those 3 have to be stars and like be the starters they can go to in the playoffs, right? Because like I don't know, Shohei Ohtani, we hope he could pitch this year, but it's kind of like I don't know. What does everybody think about that though? The Dodgers need starting pitching to be, you know, I think they got to be starting pitching's got to be paramount this year when it comes to the Dodgers going deep. I really think so. Let's go to the comments because then I get lost here and we don't get all the comments and we want to hear from everybody. James saying Dodgers don't give second chances. James Outman, yeah, I mean James Outman's definitely one of those rare cases where they have given second chances. James saying Tanner Scott and Yates think will be fine. No worries. Yeah, I'm hoping they'll be fine. I think they're both great pitchers, and they're both all-stars. I mean, Tanner Scott, let's not forget this guy completely shut down the Dodgers last year in the playoffs and the NLDS. I mean, the Dodgers had like they never could figure out Tanner Scott in that series. They never did. So if he could have one of those performances again in the playoffs, I mean, the Dodgers are going to be really, really set up to have a deep run for sure. If Tanner Scott can deliver in the playoffs for sure. Bearded says, any words on trade rumors? I've seen things, but don't trust other outlets. Thanks a lot, Bearded. Well, I mean, I think we've been seeing a lot of articles as of late on Luis Robert Jr. If you guys just type in, like, Luis Robert Jr. in Google and hit news, I mean, you see a ton of articles of connecting him to the Dodgers, which is good news, I think. I think the Dodgers would be really set up well if they got Luis Robert Jr., right? I think it'd be a big pickup. I think, getting rid of Andy Pajes or trading Chris Taylor, which obviously the Taylor trade doesn't seem likely at this point, just because the guy's not even playing. He's making tons of money. I don't think Taylor's going anywhere, guys. I think we're kind of, gonna have to use him the rest of the year at, limited use for sure. Going to be coming in mainly as a pinch hitter or for injuries. That's it, guys. I mean, I just don't see how do we trade Chris Taylor? The numbers he's putting out offensively and the little playing time he's getting, I just don't see how anybody would be interested in that. I mean, the guy is out of rhythm. He hasn't really played on a regular basis in 2 years. He's been mainly a bench player the last couple years. So, I don't know. I don't think that's enough to be traded. And just because of the salary he's making, I think he's making a bit too much. He's getting paid as a starting. He's getting paid like he's an everyday player, and he's obviously not, right? He's getting paid. He's making way too much money to be on the bench, Chris Taylor. And that's why the Dodgers have resorted to Andy Pajes. But as we know, offensively, Andy Pajes has not been very good. So I think trading him for a guy like Luis Robert Jr., who hasn't been very good either, but has the potential to be very good, hitting almost 40 home runs 2 years ago, I think it's a good gamble, to say the least. Connor's saying we need some Dodgers Digest stickers so I can put on my car, my Hydro Flask. Yeah, that'd be great, Connor. I think we should definitely get some stickers. That is something we're going to have to look into for sure because, yeah, we would like to get, like, T-shirts and stickers and hats and everything. And a whole merch store for sure for everybody to get their Dodgers Digest swag or merch, whatever you want to call it, and put it on your car or whatever. So yeah, that's definitely something we're gonna get going for sure. Duapple says, "Let's go Big Blue." That's right. Let's go Dodgers. Let's go Blue. It's been a crazy last few months to be a Dodger fan. I mean, come on, going back to last October, win the World Series. I mean, it has been literally blue heaven on earth, right, for us Dodger fans. And this year has been fun, too. I mean, it's not like it's been a bad year by any means. I mean, we're in first place. I mean, yeah, sure, we've had some bad losses, but there's been some really fun wins, too. I mean, think of the way this season started, sweeping the Cubs in Tokyo. And then that crazy opening day win and the second day of the season against the Tigers. That was a really, really fun way to kick off the year. So, I mean, I think this year has been so fun to watch too. So, I've been really happy with the way the team's playing. And yeah, I mean, there's been, like I said, bad losses, but I think the team has been good too. So I think it's been a good start. We got Carnivus saying how long on Glasnow. Well, I mean, according to what Dave Roberts said yesterday, he's going to start next week. So like, there's no delay here. No, he shouldn't be missing any time. It was just cramping. It's not an arm issue. It's a leg cramping issue. So I don't think Glasnow will miss any time. We're going to see him next start. Carnivus says, hello, Dodgers Digest. James says, I like the hard starter because in the long run, it will pay off more. Yeah, I think the Dodgers have had some definitely, some rough games to kick off the year. And yeah, I mean, if this team goes through adversity early on, it's going to pay off come October, right? I think that's definitely a good observation to show, for sure observation. And yeah, I mean, if this team can figure it out, can start getting, go through some challenges now, I think they'll be ready. But I think every year, every baseball season, there's always like big challenges that everybody's got to go through. So I think that's how it is basically for everybody in baseball. But yeah, let's go through the comments here. We got Carter saying July Roki will be dialed in. So yeah, Roki Sasaki, that's a good, he pitched good on Friday. What was it, Saturday, right? I think Saturday is when he pitched. Yeah, Saturday he pitched good. The velocity's still a bit down, of course, from his time in Japan. I think everybody's kind of noticed that. But that's a given, right? It's a different baseball. The ball's heavier out here. And I think it's going to take time for him to kind of adjust and get that fastball up to where it used to be. So, but he's making adjustments, right? He's using the splitter a lot. He's going to his off-speed stuff a lot. So I think that's how it goes. I mean, even Yamamoto did that, right? Yamamoto has made adjustments now when he's out here in the States too. So I think that's how it goes with all these players that are coming from Japan, mainly. I think they have to make adjustments when they come pitch in the major leagues. So that's not surprising with Roki's going through. Actually, I'm actually surprised that Roki's figuring it out this quick. I mean, I don't know what everybody else thinks, but I thought Roki was going to be like really. I mean, I wasn't surprised at all with his early season struggles, and I'm just surprised that he's figuring it out this fast because Roki Sasaki's improving like on every start. I mean, I'm not trying to sound biased here as a Dodger fan. I think I'm looking at it as an expert, as just a non-biased opinion. I mean, Roki has been improving like in every single start. So I think that's like super awesome to watch, right? That like every game you see an improvement. You see something he didn't do in the last game and now he's doing. And like every game he's looking better, right? So I think Roki, those are good signs that Roki's gonna be like July. Yeah, this guy could be completely dialed in, and be like the a guy the Dodgers go to in game 3 of the NLDS with no concerns, right? I don't know about game 1 or game 2 because we have we have Yamamoto and Glasnow and Snell, hopefully, right? I know that's a concern right now because we have no timetable on Snell's return, but yeah, hopefully we got a couple of those guys going in game 1 and game 2, and then in game 3 of the NLDS we got Roki Sasaki going. So yeah, sign me up for that. I think that's a very good rotation that no team is going to want to face come October. Because yeah, come on, who's going to want to play the Dodgers in the playoffs, right? Nobody does, right? Who's going to want to play them? Nobody. I mean, they might act like, oh, who cares? It's the Dodgers, or San Diego and the Dodgers play. San Diego's going to act like it means nothing, but they don't want to play the Dodgers, right? Nobody does. Nobody wants to play this team. The Dodgers have so many players that their rotation's on point. Nobody's going to beat this team. They're going to sweep everybody. I mean, it's going to be crazy, right? I mean, this team could be. It's just injuries. It's just like last year. Injuries derailed the Dodgers in the playoffs. They win the World Series, but definitely had a long road to get there. The injuries definitely made it hard, right? And the same thing could happen again. Injuries can make things very difficult for this team if they're not set up with their pitchers in the playoffs. So I think that's going to be the key once again this year. Connor is saying still waiting on Kopech. Yeah, Michael Kopech. hopefully going to be back soon is the latest from him. Going to be soon, hopefully, that we see him. Because, yeah, I think we want to see Michael Kopech, who, one of the biggest pickups for sure in recent years in the trade deadline. I mean, this guy was solid for the Dodgers last year, super solid. Wow. I mean, we didn't get Michael Kopech. I don't know if we would have won last year. So I think that was a solid pickup. MP St. Louis Robert Jr. I don't know. I think Robert Jr. is pretty good. I think he's struggling now, but I think he's a good player. Farmer saying Bush is killing in Chicago. We keep Pajes. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Michael Bush, former Dodger. I think he's, doing great out there in Chicago. He seems to do very well when he comes to Dodger Stadium. So luckily, Michael Bush won't be coming to Dodger Stadium for the rest of the regular season, right? Playoff, we could definitely be playing the Cubs in the playoffs. I would not be surprised we see this team in the playoffs, Cubs and Dodgers. The way their lineup is set up, the way their offense is going, and they got the names too. It's not like they're got nobodies out there. This team's got some stars, star power. So Kyle Tucker, they got some stars out there. So they're not going anywhere. I think the Cubs. Timothy says, "Hola, mis carnales." Yeah, what's up, everybody? Hola, mis carnales. How's everybody doing? Andres says, on a side note, what do you think about Kike Hernandez starting in third base permanently? He has good defense and excellent offense. Yeah, I don't know about permanently because Kike Hernandez has never been an everyday player for the Dodgers, really. He was earlier this year with the Freddie Freeman injury, but I don't know. On a permanent basis, offensively, sure, he's got great defense, but offensively, Max Muncy Muncy has struggled. Yeah, okay, Muncy definitely has struggled this year, right? But I think he has the potential to turn around. He had an important hit this weekend. I just think Muncy has the. Let's not write him off yet. I think he's still got something left. He's a third base. He's a guy at third base, right? I think he's a guy at third base, and I think that's not going to change unless there's injury. And I think we just have to kind of be patient for sure with Muncy, right? I think we definitely have to. But what does everybody think out there? We got to get. Anybody else have any more comments? We're doing this every Monday morning, talking Dodger baseball. We're myself. Usually it's me and Brad, right? Usually it's like super fun because we're both talking and stuff. But today it's just me talking with everybody. But yeah, let's go to the comments. We got MP saying we need Arenado at third base. He'd make this team. Yeah, obviously, if the Dodgers were to get Nolan Arenado at third base, I think this team would be, it would be super good, right? I think this team would be clearly set up for, they're obviously set up for a deep run now. But if they get Nolan on this team, they're going to be really, really tough to beat, super tough to beat if they get Nolan Arenado too, right? Because he's one of the best third basemen, I think in recent years. So he's got a lot of talent. It'd be great to see him on the Dodgers, another star player. But I don't know. I don't think the Cardinals are trading to LA. I don't know what everybody thinks out there, but I just don't see how the Cardinals trade him to LA. I think the Cardinals are set on not trading him here. It just seems that way, strangely, but that's the way it seems like. They just don't want to trade him here, right? That's the way it seems like recently. It just seems like the Cardinals don't want to trade him here, and I've been repeating that quite a bit. But, Nolan wants to come to L.A. Nolan, it's been reported, by everybody, right? Everybody knows Nolan wants to be a Dodger. He's, said that, he maybe hasn't publicly said it, but, it's been well known that he wants to come to the Dodgers, right? So, the reason why that trade hasn't happened is basically because of his team. The Cardinals have prevented it from happening. There's no other reason why. So, that's on them. It just builds that Cardinals-Dodgers rivalry is just going to build even more, hopefully. But, yeah, it would be super cool to see Nolan for sure. Carniver said we had all winter to get Arenado. It's not happening. Yeah, that's another good point. We had all offseason to get him, and it didn't happen. And I think it didn't happen because the Cardinals didn't want it to happen. Because the Dodgers have the pieces to trade for him. It's not like the Dodgers don't have enough to get him, right? Dodgers have like Max Muncy to trade him. They think about it. Why would the Cardinals not want Max Muncy? Think about that. I don't understand what the Cardinals are thinking. Really, I really don't get it. Because the Dodgers can offer more than what any other team could offer. And yeah, I don't understand how that trade didn't happen, but that's the way it goes sometimes. But yeah, it's been Dodgers got a got a big big. We got another question here. We got MP saying, why wouldn't they trade Edman? Yeah, they traded Edman, but Tommy Edman hadn't played in a year, and I think there was a lot of concerns. I don't know, the Cardinals gave up on him really fast, and of course the Dodgers are more than happy to take him on. But I just don't see how the Cardinals are going to trade their top player to the Dodgers. I just don't see it. I mean, because Nolan is like one of their top players, right? I mean, he's clearly one of their top players. MP saying Dodgers not trading Muncy. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying they could have traded him before the season started. They're not gonna. They might not trade him now unless that Nolan deal opens up, which I think they would. If that Arenado trade offer comes about, I think they will trade Max Muncy, especially the way he's playing right now. And yeah, they would do it. Last year of his deal, I think they would take that risk. But before the season, they were clearly shopping him, right? It was basically him and Chris Taylor who they were like shopping like for sure. They're still trying to shop Chris Taylor, right? They're still trying to shop him, and I think that's definitely something that's going on right now. David says we're gonna have moments like this all season. We can't win every game, but we're keeping it close. Yates has been good so far. Yeah, we can't win every game. Like I would have liked that 162-0, right? That would have been crazy, but I mean that's the problem with baseball, right? Like with football. Like NFL, you have Patriots went undefeated a few years back. You can have those kind of years where you go undefeated. It's not that there hasn't been that many of them, right? It's been a few of them. And the Patriots didn't win the Super Bowl that year, so it didn't really work. The Dolphins were the only team really to go undefeated and win the whole thing, right? So it's hard to win every game, even in that sport. They only play 17, 18 games, 16, 17 games, right? Gonna be 18 soon. I'm already jumping the gun, but 16, 17 games is what they play. And it's hard there. So here it's like impossible. 162, it's literally impossible to win every game. It's basically, just not. It can't get done, right? There's just way too many games. There's too much, right? It's just too much happening, right? For sure. So, that's for sure how. I mean, it's impossible to win at every game, but hopefully the team can. I was hoping that when the season started, that they would compete for the all-time wins record. That was something that I definitely had in mind when the year kicked off. And I think it's something that's still up in the it's still up there, right? I think it'd be something the team can still do if they let's say they win 9 games like that those series I'm talking about. They had the Marlins, the Marlins. First they got the Pirates, then they got the Marlins, and then they got the Braves, right? So those 9 games there. If they can win 9 of those games right there, then we can start thinking about, a team really winning a lot of games and potentially being the all-time wins. They keep winning games to get off to put a lot of wins here early on. Then, hopefully by the end of the year, they're competing for that all-time wins record, which would be super cool, I think, to see that. But still a long way to go. But yeah, this week the Dodgers are going to be taking on the Cubs. I think it's going to be interesting to see 2 games out of Wrigley Field. Competitive games for sure. The weather, I believe, is going to be nice. They were talking about earlier today how the weather is warmer than usual in in the Midwest right now, right? The weather is looking right now. It's in Chicago. It's still no. Actually, Chicago is still pretty cold. So I think the Midwest. They were talking about like Missouri and all that because yeah, Chicago is still gonna be chilly. It's like 59, 52 on Tuesday, and then Wednesday is gonna be 61, 53. So it's gonna be chilly weather. Not like chilly like Philly, but it's gonna be like pretty cold. Cold for us if you're from LA. So it's gonna be a bit chilly. And then we'll see how that plays. In fact, we know it's a windy city too. So windy city, it's gonna be windy. It's gonna be chilly. And we know the Cubs are it's gonna be packed, right? I mean, these two games are gonna be electric. Gonna be completely sold out of Wrigley Field. We know Wrigley Field always brings in some of the top attendance every year, so it's going to be filled up. It's going to be great environments to watch baseball games. That's fun. I like watching. I mean, I've been to Wrigley Field a couple times. It's one of my favorite baseball stadiums. For those of you maybe that haven't visited, but if you have, I think it's one of the best. It's one of the best baseball parks in the United States. I really love going there. I think it's super fun. The fans really get into it. It's got that old style feel in the neighborhood. Go to the game, walk to the game kind of thing. So I love it. So it's going to be like so loud on Tuesday and Wednesday night. They're night games too, which is kind of crazy. Usually they play during the day, but they're going to play a couple night games since they're playing the Dodgers probably. Was it 6:40 local time and then 6 o'clock on Wednesday? So a little bit earlier, right? It's not going to be, the sun will be out when these two games start, if there's sun. Or the sun will be going down, right? Cloudy days. So it's going to be, a chilly weather out there in Wrigley. And they're going to be fun games to watch. I think these are going to probably be just like we saw last week at Dodger Stadium when they played the Cubs, or a couple weeks back. Those were some really fun games. And I think we're going to see that again. Well, not that 16-0 game. That wasn't fun. But it was fun for the most part, right? It got kind of ugly at the end. But for the most part, they were fun games that weekend, and I think we're going to see the same in the next couple of days. It's too bad it's only 2 games. I would have liked to see more, but a couple games out there. What does everybody think, though? Do we think the Dodgers take 2? Do we split, or do we lose both? What does everybody say? I'm going to say my prediction for this series is we split. I think we win 1, we lose 1. That's my prediction. I don't think we lose both, and I don't think we win both either. I think we're going to split. I think just playing on the road, the Cubs will probably find a way to get a win playing at home, so we split. But yeah, we're coming here to the end of this stream. I want to thank everybody who's hopped on. Going through the comments here, it's gotten a little quiet. Does anybody else have any thoughts on this series against the Cubs? What does everybody think? We got the Cubs a couple games here, and then, of course, we got the Pirates this weekend. Pirates going to be 3 games out. Think about it. Dodgers got to play twice in Chicago. Then they got to fly all the way to L.A. on Thursday and play 3 against the Pirates. That's going to be a long flight, right? Especially if they don't win. But if they win, it's going to be a short flight, right? But those games against the Pirates got to be wins, right? I don't know if Paul Skeens is playing one of those games, but if he is, that would be probably the only challenge, because really the Pirates don't have much to do. They don't have much to compete against the Dodgers. They don't have much, so yeah. But yeah, I want to thank everybody who hopped on the live stream today. We're coming to an end here, unless anybody's got any more thoughts here with the Dodgers season so far. Right now in second place. Was it half a game behind the San Diego? Still right there. Still, come on. Can't be worried at all with the standings. This team is set up to go so far. So, not worried at all. I'm worried. Giants and Padres have been playing out of their minds, but that's going to change. So, but yeah, hopefully everybody has a good rest of your week. We got to get these watch these games on Tuesday, Wednesday. Got to watch along on Wednesday, and then then of course the next 2 days will be not playing today. Not playing Thursday. We got a lot of sports to watch for sure, right? We got the NBA playoffs. We got Clippers today, if you're a Clipper fan, playing today against Denver, Game 2. And then the Lakers playing tomorrow, right? Lakers game 3 tomorrow against the Wolves. So game 2 against the Wolves, yeah. So, I mean, Lakers lost that first game at home. So it's going to be a really important game for sure for the Lakers out in L.A. tomorrow. So going to be definitely watching that game. Probably have a couple screens on, but because, yeah, I mean, we got to watch the purple and gold. Hopefully they could turn it around. I think it's been fun. But, yeah, playoffs are going on. We got the Kings playing tonight, too, right? Oilers and Kings playing game 1. So, yeah, Stanley Cup playoffs and NBA playoffs for sure. Everybody's watching. But let's not forget the Dodgers. Right? Let's not forget about the Dodgers who still are playing games, even though the playoffs are going on. MP saying the way the offense is going, we're going to lose in both games. Yeah, that's a good point, MP. I mean, the offense has not been very good. That's not. I mean, I'm not trying to bag the Dodgers, but the offense has been a bit disappointing, right? It's been disappointing to start off the year. Outside of a few guys, it's been kind of a letdown. And the bullpen's been the key here again. So yeah, it's the offense keeps. If they don't score runs, they're not winning, right? Cubs are going to get their runs. They're coming to score. Angel saying, is Glasnow going to stay healthy? Well, that's $1 million question. Because Glasnow has never been able to stay healthy a full season. So I think we're going to see Glasnow eventually get injured, guys. I really don't think he'll stay healthy the whole year. And you just hope he's healthy for the playoffs. That's all. I mean, he was healthy in 2020 for the playoffs, right? But that was a short season. Him and Snell, now teammates on the Dodgers, they were teammates on Tampa Bay. So they were healthy then, but that was a short season. Yeah, Glasnow staying healthy all year is like, yeah. You hope for that, but not likely. And yeah, offense got to be better. I think if the offense doesn't turn around, we're definitely going to drop those games out in Chicago. But I want to thank everybody who hopped on the stream today. It was super fun talking Dodger baseball here during the 8 o'clock hour. We do this every Monday morning. Usually myself and Brad talking Dodgers. We do it every Monday. We got watch-alongs. We got post-games. We got breaking news coverage. We might be adding Fridays again. Maybe next month, so that's kind of dropping a hint here. We might be doing Mondays and Fridays, depending on how things go. But definitely Mondays are here to stay for the rest of the season. But yeah. MP saying, doubt it. No wonder everyone says behind glass. Now we see it. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I doubt we see Glasnow healthy the entire year. I think we're gonna definitely see him. Hopefully not, but I'm just saying. Just the way things are going. But that's going to do it here for Dodgers Digest on this Monday morning. Have a good day, everybody. As always, let's go Dodgers. Woo!